everyone, I've got a really great recipe for you today. This recipe is terrific if someone has nausea, sore mouth, difficulty swallowing or taste changes. It's a really soft biscuit. It's from our Festive Fair cookbook. Now we put out a Festive Fair cookbook every year just to get people through the festive season, and this one's Gooey Soft Ginger Biscuits. I've changed it a little bit just because I've run out of an ingredient, but I'll explain that to you. And I'm only going to be making up half quantity compared with what's in the book, but don't worry, I'll post the recipe anyway and you can halve it yourself from there. So I'll let you know how many it makes. This half quantity makes about 12 to 15 biscuits, and as there's only 2 of us, we don't need much more than that because quite honestly, very soon we're going to look like a biscuit ourselves and our friends are just sick of us giving them food, so we'll have to eat these. What I have in here, I have some softened butter and some sugar. Jimmy, do you want to get a shot of that in there? There we go, you'll be able to see that. And I'm just going to cream that. Now, 2 things I really hated at school, at home economics, were creaming butter and sugar and rubbing butter and sugar in to make the breadcrumbs. Hated that. Now I'm an adult and can do as I please. I'm going to find every electric tool that I possibly can to get out of doing those things. So I'm going to give it a whirl with my stick blender and the whisk attachment. Let's see what happens. Could go everywhere, but we'll see. I'm not really sure. Oh, hang on, I can't really. Whoa. Okay. It could get a bit messy. Okay, pause that. As you can probably tell by now, that didn't go very well at all. There is butter and sugar all over the kitchen. So I've had to resort to the elbow grease method, which it's not too bad, I suppose. Get used to it. Okay, so that looks a bit like that. What I need to do to that now is add an egg. I can't do that with one hand, honestly. And I can't stand it when there's eggshell in things either. Ugh. So we'll beat that in a bit as well. Look, it looks as though that this just will never combine when you do this, but it eventually gets there. And when I was doing this yesterday, I did use my little beater thing there, so I'm going to give it another go. Just bear with me a second, we'll get all this off the spoon. I'm determined to use my modern equipment. Right, see how we go this time. Right, job done. Okay, eggs in. To that, I'm going to add a little bit of water, and I've got some yummy molasses. Can you see that come out in there? Got a shot of that in there. I've got Jimmy helping today, which is nice. This is all new for him. And it's nice to have a second wheel to bounce ideas off. And I can bet you he's going to be queuing up to lick the bowl afterwards too. Is that right? Okay, that's into there. We'll give that a bit of a mix around. I can do that without the electricity this time, I'm sure. There we go. Now, in this bowl, I have some flour, cinnamon, cloves, cinnamon, what else have I got now? Oh, ginger, of course, has ginger in it. I have run out of ground ginger. You want to use ground ginger if you have a sore mouth or anything like that. Today I have used, this is kibbled ginger, so I'll just see if I can show you that. It smells divine. Let's see if we can get a shot of that into there. I don't know if that'll work there. What do you think there? See that? Lovely. And I got this from, there's a store called Gewurz House here, and it's just lovely looking at all their spices they have in there, and it comes in glass. It's like a little bit of luxury. I love it. Anyway, so I've got that in there. What else have I got in there? I think that's about it. If you don't have all of those spices, you can substitute in mixed spice as well. It'll work just the same. So what you need to do is just add this in a bit of time. It's all been sifted. And, ooh, I'll just show you once we're there. Oh, I think 2 lots will do it. I'm not that patient, you know. I think you know that about me by now. I don't fuss with much. Okay, so if you see in here, it actually looks pretty dry. I'll just get this off the spoon a bit as well. But it comes together and it's more like a really thick, stop saying that word, it's like a thick cake batter. This will come together quickly. Oh, I've got to use the elbow grease today though. Maybe if I do that, that's better. There we go. And just like that, it's come together. And that's what you want. Something that'll stick to the end of your spoon. Over here I have a good old well-used baking tray lined with baking paper. You can do this with wet hands too, or fingers. It just makes it a bit easier. All you need to do is, definitely need wet fingers, about the size of a walnut. Pop them on 5 centimetres apart. I'll just wet my fingers for the next one, I think. Much better, look at that. Much better. And so I'll fill the tray up. I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. There we go. Fingers got sticky again. Okay, back in a sec. Just about finished it. Last couple on now. You do want to leave a bit of space between these because they'll spread out a bit, not too much. They're really just like little cakes when you cook them. There we go. We'll pop these into the oven, 175 degrees for 8 minutes. Now the 8 minutes, it says 8 to 10 minutes in the recipe, but I find if it's 8 minutes, they're extra gooey. So I like that. So bringing back the cooked ones. They're out of the oven. This is the batch I made yesterday. So you'll end up with a nice basket full of bickies, and these are the ones that are just cooling fresh from the oven. Sometimes you'll see that they'll sink in a bit. That means that they're just extra gooey inside. When you do them 8 minutes, that works out really well. And if I just crack one open here, look how soft that is. I'm sure James is going to nick one from me any minute now. Just like that. Okay, hope you've enjoyed that one. As I say, really great for so many side effects. Have a go at them. See you.